Hi there, this is Doodleman. This is a browser game that I've been working on since 2016. Um, so I know that sounds like I've been working on it for 4 years, but really I haven't been working on it the entire time. It's kind of been an off and on kind of thing. But this is a game you can play in your browser, and it's something of a passion project of mine. And today I wanted to show you kind of some of what I've implemented in terms of what the game does, and I don't know, just show some cool stuff. Um, so you can see here, there's like kind of like three main options. But first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna full screen this, just for viewing pleasure. The true experience is in full screen. Um, but also, I'm gonna turn down the audio a bit, just ahead of time. But you can see three main options here. The two main game modes are survival and the sandbox mode, and there's also online, which I'll get into a bit. But first off, I'm actually going to go not into the main game mode, but I'm going to go into sandbox mode just right now, just to introduce you to Doodleman. He's right down here. So Doodleman's a character that I made a long time ago. And then I eventually decided to make him into a game. He can attack with his sword, he can jump around, he can actually do sort of like an up air attack, and same as downward. If you hold the attack button, you get this exclamation mark, and when you release, you have a charge, which you can use in the air as well. And you can do this kind of thing where you like jump and then, whoops, I messed it up. Jump and then up air again. Oh, it's kind of hard to do here, but I'll get it later. But yeah, that's Doodleman. I will show in sandbox mode here. This like the first loading screen, not loading screen. It's just like sort of like a blank level. But there are a couple levels that you can select that are sort of just like development levels. Here's the sort of the first test scene that I ever made in this game. This environment was from even before levels were a thing. There was just like me spawning objects with lines of code. This is an enemy. You can kill him. They only have 2 hearts. Behind this box, there's a door, which you can actually use E to go into the door. That's pretty cool. Oh, I forgot another move. If you also hold E and push your attack button, you get to do this up attack on the ground as well. And that's how you can do the attack in the air too. You don't you either double tap up to and use G to use the attack, or you jump and use E and attack. There's this box here that has copyright 201 on it. That was just sort of like a weird joke, but I've kept this object in for quite a while. If you crouch and use the attack button, you can actually pick up objects that are pickupable. So this is a box, and you can pick it up, and you can push attack to throw it, and it actually will carry some of the momentum of you when you're moving around, so you can use that to throw way higher than just that. You can also just crouch and attack to just set it down in front of you. Let me reload here. I think this should spawn the enemy again. Oh, I guess not. But you can. They actually have an attack box too, so you can like hit enemies with the box. And so there are a couple other test levels in this. This is probably one of the more interesting ones. I kind of just drew some lines and made a level, like a very basic platforming level. Whoops. It's nothing too fancy. There's just some enemies, some lines to platform on. And at the very top, there's kind of like, oh, where do you go here? You can actually jump onto this floating hello world. Every programmer knows about, you know, one of the first programs you write is the hello world program, where it just says hello world. And there's still a remnant of me testing hello world in this game from the very start. But you get here and it's like a you win. Very lazily drawn in lines there. But yeah, that's kind of what the level is. There's like this room here with a box. He's in here. You can't really get him out. Actually, you can get him out, but that's a glitch and I don't want to show that. Yeah, I'm sure there's bugs in this. Let's actually level select to another level. What's line test? This is just some debug stuff. Oh, also, if you push the backslash button on your keyboard, you get this debug mode, which is kind of cool. It's kind of might remind you of like F3 mode in Minecraft. But yeah, there's just some test slopes that I was using, and also, so yeah, that's there's not much there. This was a test when I was making some scrollable backgrounds. So the graphics here are hideous. Whoops, I fell. But the idea here is that like you can see like a scrolling background that like changes, that scrolls at a different rate from the foreground. And so that is kind of what this level is testing. Otherwise it's like really nasty looking. Well, actually though, a fun thing that you can do here is do that. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to well, the only one left is this. This isn't a level I made. This is actually a level my brother made. Because there's actually a level editor to this. Well, a level editor in quotes. It's not very user friendly at all, but it exists. And my brother decided to put some of the background features to cool use. You can see we have a nice like hand drawn like dark forest. We have like a sky that doesn't scroll at all, so you always see that in view. You see there's like 2 layers of this like grass or like shrubbery that's like in front. Like actually, if I stand right here, you can see it's actually in front of Doodleman. And they scroll much faster, so they feel like they're closer to you. And there's also these like tombstones that are on the uppermost layer. They scroll really fast, and so there's like a nice sense of depth that this produces. And I don't know, this level just like has a really cool vibe. Also, it's like October, so spoopy times. But that's it. That's probably the best looking test level. But those are the included test levels. You can actually load levels from files if you have like custom level files, but that's mostly a me thing, because I'm pretty much the only one who's gonna have more levels. But anyways, let's actually quit out of Sandbox Mode, and I'm gonna show you the main game mode of this game, which is Survival Mode. And as you can see, we have this little blob enemy coming over. We have a score on top. We have 5 lives over here. Blob enemy is gonna get me. Oh, he hit me. They inflate. It's just like, I love the way they like hop around and they attack that way. I really like these guys. Anyways, you can knock them out in 1 hit, and they keep spawning. There are multiple waves of them. There's wave 1 complete. You get rewarded with a plus heart to heal some health. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and see. They're very weak enemies. You can just like take them out. And yeah, this level is pretty simple, but we'll get through. There we go, level complete. There was only about like 4 or 5 waves there. At the end, you get rewarded with this big red heart, the maximum heart, and if you take it, you get to full health. You also, if you take a heart and you're already at full health, then you actually get score instead of health, which is kind of neat. Let's go through the door, and this is level 2. Layout's a bit different. There's these lines up here now, but the enemies are still the same. And there's wave 1. I'm actually going to use the charge here. Just oh, there was a. I don't know if you saw that there, but for a second, one of the guys got stuck on the corner. Actually, that's an easy bug for them to do, where they get, and it can even happen to you. Actually, you can get stuck on the corner. You just jump out or move out of it, but it's just visually glitchy. As you see there, that he actually took out the other guy, jumped into the other guy as he was inflated, and it actually hurt him. So they can hit each other, which is fun. But you see, there's a lot more of them now, and they're all spawning up here too, which is funny. They don't ever spawn right next to you. I try to make it so that they spawn away from you. And over here, you can see actually, we got to the end of the level, and there's actually a golden up heart. Actually, I don't really have a name for these, but it has an up. This heart actually it extends your maximum health. So right now I have a max health of 4, but if I take this one, I actually have a max health of 5 now. So when I die and respawn, I'll actually come back with 5 hearts as well. So it's a permanent upgrade. Those will spawn if you do well, if you get a good score in a level. Although right now the logic is kind of broken. I think the first level always gives you the normal one, and this one obviously always gives you the gold. But the intention is that they're supposed to spawn when you get a good score on a level. But let's go on to the next level, which is actually the last one implemented so far. Now we actually get the more human enemies here. So these ones take 2 hits, and there's a lot more platforms on this level as well. These guys are a lot smarter than the other guys. They actually can sort of pathfind to you. They can jump up platforms if they realize they need to, but they're not that smart. This guy, he could very clearly move to the right and come down and hit me, but he doesn't know to do that. I have to kind of guide him. So it's not the best pathfinding, but it works. I could probably improve these. I almost kind of don't want to improve them because I feel like that's kind of their balance. I feel like if I make them too smart, they might be too difficult of an early enemy, but I can have other enemies that are smarter. But yeah, if you, I don't know if you probably noticed, but I'm actually using the charge attack on these guys, and it wipes them out in 1 hit. Because the charge attack does 2 damage instead of just 1. So it's pretty strong. You pretty much always want to be charging it. And you can move around freely, at least for now, while charging it. I might change that in the future. I rebalance the moveset. But for now, you can charge and move around, and you can just take these guys out. And so this level actually never ends. I've only completed 2 waves so far, but when you run out of waves in this level, it just repeats the same waves forever. So you can actually just keep pushing your score up if you survive long enough, but the game doesn't actually get any harder. Before making this video, I've been wanting to make this video for a while. But I've kind of always put it back because I wanted to get more work. I wanted to flesh out the survival mode a bit more. But lately I've just kind of been, sort of busy with stuff for school and just life in general. So, I can't focus on. I haven't worked on this game in quite a while actually. It's been months that I've put real work into this game. Um, so I figured if I don't do a video now, I'm never gonna get a video out. So that's pretty much it. Actually, yeah. I could go on forever playing this game mode because I mean I would die eventually, but I think my best score in this is actually around like 2,000. But that takes a while, so we're not gonna do that right now. Instead, I'm gonna show you some other stuff. Like you can actually have two players. Um, if you're on keyboard, the left player is with WASD and G and E, where the right player is with IJKL and the apostrophe button for attack and O for looking up. And so you guys can like kid each other and stuff. It's kind of fun. Just go boom. Yeah, you guys you can do like a sort of like a PvP if you want. You can also play survival mode in 2-player as well. As you can oops, that's 1 player. There's 2 players here. And you won't in this mode you actually can't hit each other, so feel free to just walk around and smack enemies down. Also, there's other controls for this game. First of all, if you're using mobile, you can actually play this on your phone. And there's like touchscreen controls for that too. It's using a joystick right now, which is technically not right, really, because it doesn't really use none of the controls are really analog. It's playable on mobile, and also you can if whatever device you're on, you can pair a controller either through Bluetooth or wired. And if Chrome supports it, if your browser supports it, the game should be able to recognize it. And you'll actually be able to. There's this is sort of like a tutorial on a very basic text tutorial on the controls. But there's also not. This is like the control order picker to in multiplayer to make sure what controller you're using. But if you have a gamepad connected, you can actually remap the controls. I don't have one with me right now, but you can use your controller however you want. So there are various control schemes, which is pretty cool. And I'm actually going to get into online now. Okay, so here we have a setup with 2 different tabs of Doodleman. I'm using 2 tabs right now just for demonstration, but you can imagine this being 2 different devices. This is you, and this is like a friend's device or something like that. So if you go to online on both of these, here's online mode. We'll have one of these guys create a room, and the other guy join a room. The code on this guy is U48X. U48X. Just enter that, and we should see him. There we go. And so I can control this guy in this tab, this guy in this tab. This is the host tab. This is the join tab. And so the host can start a game, and you can choose either of the 2 game modes. You can use survival or sandbox, and you can play it online. And the pause menu is a bit different because I wanted to make it so it doesn't actually pause the game anymore, since like you're on multiplayer. So like this guy's like paused, but the guy on the right can still move around. Anyway, I'm going to level select. And so yeah, you can do anything you can do in the normal 2 modes. You can do it online. This was a really fun thing to work on, and there was a lot of pain and suffering, but I got it working somehow. I think it's probably the most impressive thing about this thing that I've been able to do, that you can just like play the whole game in online mode. I didn't originally build it with online in mind, but I was able to sort of work it back in, and that's this. It's awesome. So yeah, either the 2 game modes. You can lock your room actually, like this, and when the lock is like this, it means no one else can join it. So that's pretty cool. And you can just click that again to unlock it. And yeah. So at any point during a game, for example, like this person could disconnect if they wanted to. You can also restart, go back to the lobby and and just close the room or leave the room in the lobby. But that's pretty much the game. So if you want to check it out, it's actually, the URL is going to be in the description, but it's doodle-man.afterthought.com. If that doesn't work, it's probably because I took it down. I don't think I would take it down, but like if it were the case that it's suddenly somehow got a huge influx of people, and suddenly the cost of hosting it on Google gets too high, then I'll cut it. Then I'll cancel it. But I don't think I have that many people that would go check that out. So this should be fine. But yeah, if you want to check it out, there it is. I'll also show you the level editor real quick. This technically, it's not like officially publicly accessible, so no guarantees that it'll be a good edit. But if you add /edit to the URL, this is the level editor. I'm not going to go into how to use it, and it's not user friendly at all. Be warned. But if you can figure it out, kudos. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. But yeah, let me just go back. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, I really appreciate it. I know it's been a while since I made videos, so it'll be interesting to see how many people actually watch this. But briefly, I want to do a quick channel update. I'm going to be making videos again, but it's not going to be like before where, I mean, it used to be just a Minecraft Pocket channel. Now I'm kind of just going to be doing whatever the heck I want. There will be some Minecraft Java in the future, and there will be some other stuff, but don't expect any kind of consistent schedule, and there might be some times where I just don't upload for a long time. I'm going to just be uploading whatever the heck I want, and I'm just going to have fun with this channel now. So thank you for watching, and take care.